me, sir. I'm working with Mute. We're having a point in time count. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to count all of the persons on the street or in shelters in our coverage area over the next 24 hours. So can I just ask you just a few questions? I want to take just a few minutes of your time.
Okay.
Can I ask you, first of all, where did you stay last night?
Around the corner there.
All right, so outside of the building here.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
Fred.
All right, Fred. What's your last name?
Fred Banks.
Okay. All right, Fred, what's your birthday?
6/25/82.
Let me ask you, Fred, have you been asked any of these questions that I've asked you thus far today? Okay. All right, let me ask you, Fred, are you Hispanic or Latino? All right.
Caucasian.
Okay. All right, how long have you been on the street?
About 3 weeks.
How many times in the past 3 years have you been on the street or in shelter, emergency shelter?
3 or 4. I was there for about a week last week.
All right, could you describe your family situation for me?
My sister's got my son. I've been separated from my wife for a long time.
But it's just you on the street, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have one son. What's his date of birth?
8/24/92.
All right. Male. First name?
His name?
Mm-hmm.
Mark.
And his last name, is it the same as yours?
Yes.
Okay. And do you mind me asking for the last 4 digits of his social security number?
I don't know that I know that. I don't remember that.
And we would say he's the same race and ethnicity as you, or would
Yes.
we? And I'm sorry, I forgot a question, but can I ask you your social security number? Now, all of the data that we capture here, it goes into a client tracking system. It's like a bank website. It's very secure. It'll be very well taken care of. It won't be shared with anyone. So you can feel free to give me your whole social.
That identifies me. Why?
Well, if you'd like, we can just collect the last 4 digits of your social, and that way it's unidentified.
75/18.
What happened in your life that caused you or contributed to your current living situation? Like, what's got you out here on the street?
Well, I lost my job and drinking gets involved.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever been diagnosed with or told that you have any of the following disabilities? A physical disability?
No.
Developmental disability? Chronic health condition? HIV/AIDS? Mental health?
Yeah. Been in treatment a couple of times.
Okay. You mentioned alcohol abuse, right? Would you say drug abuse as well? Is this disability long-term, or does it prevent you from being able to live independently?
Well, I'm surviving out here the best I can.
Do you feel like it impedes your ability to live inside of housing on your own?
Only when I drink.
Okay. Are you a domestic violence victim or survivor by chance? Okay. Are you a veteran? Okay, and we're just trying to track how many services are being accessed in our coverage area, so I'm just going to ask you, just really quickly, we'll run through different types of service that are out there and are available. And if you could just tell me you received them, or you needed them, or you were denied them, okay? You said no to domestic violence, so we don't have to worry about that. You said no to HIV/AIDS, so you don't have to worry about that. Would you say has there been any testing available to you?
Yes.
Okay. Did you receive that service?
Yes.
Okay. Medical disability services. You needed, been denied, or received any of those services? Okay. Mental health services. You mentioned that. Have you received, or needed, or been denied?
Needed, been denied. Some I've received. All 3 of those are actually true.
Okay. All right. Substance use or abuse treatment. Have you received,
Yes.
needed, or been denied?
all three of those are accurate.
You don't have any veteran services, we don't have to worry about that. Medical, just routine medical services. Have you needed or been denied or received?
I've needed and I haven't been denied.
Okay, so have you received medical services?
Yes.
Okay. Dental services? Okay. Legal services? Or have you needed them?
No, once I pay the fine, I'm okay.
Okay. Emergency shelter services. If you're on the street, we could say you need them right now, right? Have you received them?
I've received them.
Have you been denied emergency services?
Yes.
Okay. And we would also say with housing, those housing services, we'd say you need them. Have you received housing services?
No.
Okay. Have you been denied?
No.
Okay. Education training, any kind of education. Have you needed that? Would you say you need it, or have you received it or been denied?
I haven't been denied it. It certainly couldn't hurt, but I mean, I just have to get stable first.
All right, we're gonna just assistance in obtaining an ID. Have you needed that service? Do you have an ID now?
I do.
Okay. All right, transportation. Have you needed transportation the past 3 years?
Sure.
Okay, so we'll say yes. Have you received transportation from a service?
No, not from the service.
Okay. Have you been denied? Child care services.
No.
Okay.
Sister.
All right, job placement services.
Yeah, I've used that.
Have you received any of those services?
I went
Been
to
denied?
the Wynn Job Center.
Okay, so we'll say yes, you
They're
received.
not real helpful, but
And then emergency meal services. I'm going to assume you've needed those. Would you say that you've received or been denied those services?
they usually feed you even if you can't spend the night.
Okay. So I'll say you received those. All right. Well, Fred, I really appreciate you answering my questions. We have a care package for you over here. It's just got some goodies for you, help you maybe make this night a little bit easier than the last. But then also, the data that you've given us, we can use to actually see if there's any services in the area that can target you. So maybe we'll actually be able to get you housed. So probably have one of our case managers or intake staff follow up with you, but I really appreciate your help with this. Thank you.